were sitting around for a number of months talking about how we would love the opportunity to gather with people of our generation and younger to talk about why we're here, to be in a space that is easy to access.
You can look at all the different groups that are here in the city that are trying to do good. I would like to think the Breakfast Club is starting to trend in that manner, where we're bringing people that are really invested in Modesto, really want to see Modesto flourish. And I think that's getting out. That positive movement is starting to happen. And I think it's going to continue to grow. I think there's people that have been working on this for decades, and the trajectory is only positive.
The amount of real conversations that are happening about things that I want to see happen here and actually see them come to fruition.
One of the things I really like about Modesto is that it is a big city, but it still has that small town feel. So like Jen said, you really feel like you can have an impact on things, but on a larger scale than you would in a small town.
Over the years have taken on different ventures, but always found that there was some sort of footing, some sort of roots here that drew me back. And I think it's probably the fact that there is a strong sense of that small town feel.
I always had to defend Modesto when I lived in Sacramento, and I always said, you know, it's so much more than what you see from the freeway or what you hear on the news.
And Modesto is such a good location in California, not to where you're so close to do anything that you really want to. This is part of the reason I love it, is, you know, you can go to the snow, you can go to the beach, you can go to the city within 2 hours.
Great things about Modesto and our community in general is we are a decent-sized community. We're, for all intents and purposes, you throw us in the Midwest, we're a major city, but we have a small town feel to us. But oftentimes, and I'll say this as a business owner, and I'll be very direct about this, we don't always send our work to ourselves.
Modesto's got this idea and this brand that there's not a lot to go on to do here. So I think one thing you've got to work on is these underground music culture that we have here, this underground arts and things like that bring these types of people that are a little more educated, a little bit more social and just kind of more highbrow.
I think the best way for us to grow young talent is to invest in people with promise.
You use what you have here. You use your companies to help recruit, but then also, in addition to that, recruit them to the area, not just the company.
Well, I feel to get the next generation to want to stay or to come back, we have to create an environment that welcomes them. And a big part of that is creating jobs outside of just manufacturing and outside of what is considered to be our normal space.
You know, really just maintain positivity and you know, focus on the good things and try to improve the bad things. That'll be what really increases momentum and interest in younger people and younger generations and their families wanting to stay.
I think it definitely, in order to attract more people to us, it's showing people opportunity for that. So in the last few years, the Breakfast Club or doing Leadership Modesto has taught me that there's other like-minded people in my community that want to do that. And I think being that example and showing who we are in opportunities like talking to Rotary or whomever it is about the fact that this generation exists is a way to attract it.
You need what I would call the older guard to let down their guard and be okay with the fact that some of these things are going to make them uncomfortable, but will make the city a more cohesive and more marketable city. Because there are things that we enjoy that would make our mom and dad a little bit uncomfortable, and that's okay.
I think we do a poor job of letting the public know, whether it's socially, through media, the opportunities that exist here, the great businesses that have roots here, that have started here, the great people groups and networking opportunities that exist here.
You know, we're looking to, you know, I guess the garden tenders, those folks who did that work for us, those 20 to 40s from the last generation, to help lead us. So we can create a better community for those who are 10 and 20 now.
I think there are a lot of senior leaders in this community who need to be intentional about reaching over the generational divide and investing in those people, taking risks on people who have a growth mindset and who show promise and who are interested in staying here for the long haul. We can attract people from the Bay Area or elsewhere all day long, but if we're not investing in the young people who are here, I think we're really doing ourselves a disservice. And I see it happening. I see partnerships forming where older leaders, I guess, are working with younger leaders and kind of bridging that gap. And there is something beautiful that happens with the exchange of information like that. And I think there's a lot of wisdom that we can learn from people who came before us and people who are leading our community now.
Now I stay because I have friends and a community and a job that I love.
I stay here because I believe in this community. I was raised in it. I know the depth that it has, and I don't agree with the perception that it has, and I want to do my part to be one of the good guys changing that.
The community, the family members that I had around me, like you said, it's so easy to just build ties and build connections. And after a while, you just start to feel that pride for where you live.
My family, I was born and raised here in Modesto. I think our community as a whole is a great community that offers a lot to young families as well.
Also seeing all of the things that you've been doing, working with the community agencies and nonprofit agencies, how much care is actually placed into the things that we do in the community that we serve, has been one of the things that really just kind of cemented my ideology of being here for a while.
I think we all go through our own little individual occurrences. You know, I had a bike stolen last fall from right out front of a restaurant, and that just made me throw my hands up and say, I'm done, I'm leaving. You know, I mean, who would steal a bike from the front of a restaurant on a Saturday? But you take a step back and you say this happens in every town, and instead of being sort of downtrodden about it, how do we fix it? And, but you know, every time something like that happens, you kind of look around, you look at the people around you and the community around you, and the momentum that we have in Modesto, and I think that you know, that's what leads you to stay.
I'm so fulfilled in love in general and in the friendships that I have that I don't need to leave what I have here to try and find something different. That just got really personal.
I live in a beautiful community full of people that are worth staying and doing life with.
I think the purpose of this, right, is to write a good, positive story and tell people how great Modesto is. We just have to get them to believe it.